I just got out of the Odyssey, and let me preface this by saying I'm one of the biggest Christopher Nolan fans. Trust me when I tell you that. I think he's one of a handful of directors that can actually save Hollywood. I truly believe that. This was not a perfect film at all. I'm going to get the bad out of the way first. The casting was a problem, okay? And secondly, the American dialogue and accents did not work for me, personally. Now, I'm going to be the only one that says this, and everyone else is going to disagree, and that's fine. I know this is fiction. I know the Odyssey is a poem written by, I think, Homer in the 12th or 13th century BC. Now, I'm no historian. Believe me, I'm no historian. But I can tell you that in the 12th or the 13th BC, the 12th or 13th century BC, they were not using the F word. I can almost guarantee that. Number two, I can probably ascertain that they were not using dad as a word. None of it worked. And I hate to say that because he's obviously taken the time to set the location, the props, the amazing, amazing fight scenes and choreography. It's a period piece. This is not like Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, where it was his take on Romeo and Juliet, and Leonardo DiCaprio played Romeo in today's time. Beautiful movie, by the way, but it was set in today's time. This is not set in today's time. So it's Christopher Nolan's take, because he's the writer and the director, of the Odyssey in that time. Now, if you're going to go play in that time, you've got to do some historical research and make sure it's that language, that type of law, that type of everything, you know. So that really, really bothered me. It bothered me to the point that it almost took me out of the film. Like, why are any, if not all of these actors speaking in a typical American accent like I'm speaking now? That's a big problem. It's a major problem. The second thing is that casting. I'm a 26-year SAG-AFTRA actor. I know a little bit about casting and a little bit about acting. The sad news is that corporate comes barking down your throat, and I guarantee Christopher Nolan got a couple of phone calls that said, we need the top 15 bill A actors on the planet today and fit them in the movie. And I can see it clearly. I hope you can see it clearly, but you don't need 15 of the top A billed actors today to play roles that they cannot play. And I am saying that with all humility in my heart. I am not bitter. I could have played 3 of those roles. We're not talking about me. We're talking about other qualified, no-name actors that have been doing this a lot longer than I have that should have been able to play those roles. I will not get into specifics because I don't want you guys to say, oh, you're this or you're that. I'm telling you, the casting was a problem. The top 3 or 4 bill, spot on. Damon, Anne Hathaway, top 2 bill, spot on. I don't think that when you have a beautiful story and a great writer that you need to fill these roles with people that don't necessarily fit these roles. That's me speaking as an actor. Was the film great? Of course it was. Will it do over $1 billion? Of course it will. Were the sets, the props, the fight scenes all incredible? Yes. Was the score amazing? Absolutely. The sound, the Foley, it brings you in. To be honest, it started off slow, and I was like, oh, this better go somewhere, and it did. And the story built, and you felt it, and it ended on a beautiful crescendo. Christopher Nolan is not my favorite writer. his brother is a better writer. If you know Jonathan Nolan is a better writer. I think that this script written by Jonathan might have quelched some of my animosity towards the American accents, because I think that he would have either written towards that or cast people that you feel that can play those historical figures. All due fairness. It's not perfect. It's not Christopher Nolan's best film. It's long, a shade under 3 hours, but I didn't feel like it was too long. I felt like there was a lot of prose and a lot of dialogue that needed to be said, and it was explained well in the time given. You could have shaved off a couple of minutes here and there, but it didn't bother me, the time frame. What bothered me was the casting and the American accents. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not a hater, but I'm going to say this so you're not oblivious. When you open the film up, we don't need Travis Scott playing anything. And I'm not a hater. I think he makes great music, but Travis Scott is not an actor. I don't know how many times I could say this in my reviews. There are so many good qualified actors, SAG-AFTRA, that have been doing this craft their entire life that could play that role. A myriad of people. And I'm just going to say that by expressing, I know Christopher Nolan and the people behind this at Warner's and executives, they want butts in the seats. Travis Scott has a major following. These top 15 billed actors have major followings. Once they tweet or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or show up to the premiere, all of their people are going to go see the movie. Fair play. But there becomes a point where we're kidding ourselves. You're not going to see me make a rap album anywhere. I'm not a rapper. I'm not good at it. I'll be called out on it. And Travis Scott, with all due respect, is not an actor. So I think we need to stop playing the game of hiring non-actors for serious roles. I'll leave it at that. You can figure out the rest of the cast. But it was good. Go see it. That's my rant.